India-occupied Kashmir, proof or no proof, that immediately means war. As you recall, at the start of this conflict, immediately after, before the start of this conflict, but immediately after the terrorist attack in Indian-occupied Kashmir, the Prime Minister of Pakistan offered an impartial international inquiry into the incident that Pakistan would be willing to be a part of, with no conditions on who should be part of it, who should not be part of it. All of those things were left open to discussion. Immediately, that proposal was shot down. India proceeded to, with their own words, hold in abeyance the Indus Water Treaty, which is not allowed for within the treaty, within international law. They threatened to cut off the water supply for 240 million Pakistanis. This threat in itself is a war crime. If they were to act on this threat for Pakistan, it would be a matter of survival. It would turn this to an existential crisis, and we would be left with no choice but to embark on the first water war, and not the first water war at least between two nuclear-armed states. Pakistan has demonstrated throughout this conflict that we are not the aggressors. We showed self-restraint at every opportunity, have called for investigation, have called for dialogue, have called for dialogue and diplomacy in the pursuit of peace, and have maintained the importance of abiding by international law. We are here in Europe, but we're very cognizant of the fact that Europe feels passionate about war, not only because of the history, but because of what you're facing today, the first war on the European continent since World War II. If international law applies in Europe, then it should apply in South Asia. If treaties are respected here, then only they can be respected in our part of the world. So we understand where you're coming from, but we want to convey to you that as it stands at the moment, in our part of the world, the last edifice of cooperation between our two states, India and Pakistan, everything else has been talked about. The last thing that remained, the Indus Water Treaty, that too, India wants to depart from. If people far away think things that are far away from us don't apply to us, this is none of our business. They couldn't be more wrong. The threshold being so low means that the drop of the hat, we could go to war again. This particular terrorist attack within Indian-occupied Kashmir had no connection to Pakistan. To this day, they haven't been able to share with their own public, with their allies, and certainly haven't shared with us the names, identities of the individuals involved in this terrorist attack. Nor can they even share with us who they have targeted in their so-called targeted operation within Pakistan. We can point to the civilian infrastructure, the dam that they targeted, the facilities that they targeted, and the innocent civilians they killed. They can't name one terrorist that was involved in this terrorist attack that supposedly crossed this heavily armed border between India and Pakistan. Nor can they name a single terrorist that they attacked and killed on Pakistani soil when they violated our sovereignty. We appreciate the role the international community played in helping us achieve this ceasefire. We now look to the international community to engage with India and convince them that the decisions that they have made leave not only us less safe, but leave everybody less safe. There's no military solution to Kashmir. There's no military solution to terrorism, the water issue. Water isn't even, and should never be considered a weapon of conflict. Terrorist attack, particularly post-2019, where the policies of the state have become even more aggressive, repressive, and suppressive. They've moved away from their domestic commitments to the people of Kashmir. In that circumstance, what you're doing is you're creating the perfect environment to breed indigenous terrorism, and that indigenous terrorism will challenge India in a way that no cross-border terrorism ever could. And instead of addressing this issue, we're ignoring the issue and making it worse. If we don't find a solution for Kashmir, and the situation on the ground continues to deteriorate, then the environment is created, and the new youth in Kashmir will form the cannon fodder for the terrorist organizations of tomorrow that will continue to perpetuate these attacks. Before I go into the water, I'd like to sidestep onto the terrorist question. As far as what Pakistan has done, now the militant groups that exist on Pakistani soil are a result of the Cold War politics and the geopolitics of the 1980s. Every single group that you can name today, every single one, there's not one that's out of this orbit. Be it Al-Qaeda, be it the Taliban, be it these groups that are of concern to the Indian government, that's the groups of concern to the Indian government, all of them are a result, are the hangover, are the leftover elements of the Afghan jihad ecosystem in Afghan 1. That decision to set up this network of what was called at the time freedom fighters, who were dubbed at the time